You call those boots all shined up, Private? You look like a bag. I want to be able to see my face in that or your ugly smile. Welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today I'm going to be polishing up some World War I boots in my basement. Yeah, so these are some boots that have been in the family for a little while. And like I said, they're from World War I originally. But we also call them grandma's riding boots because my grandmother, years and years ago, when she started dating my grandfather, he had this old Norton. And for her to sit on the back of the motorcycle, if you didn't have some nice high leather boots, you would burn your legs. So, anyways, grandma got her hands on a pair of old boots that were just lying around from Captain Sparks. So now these are Captain Sparks' old boots. He kind of lived in the neighborhood around where my grandmother lived, and which was out by the airport. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, Captain Sparks was a pilot in World War I, and these are his boots. So I was doing a little bit of research about that, and I have a feeling that these are actually his parade boots or his dress boots. From what I could tell, the regular field boots for an officer were brown, and these are black, as you can see. So it's kind of like they've been around, and they kind of get handed from one person to the next. Now they're at my place, and every once in a while, every few years, got to give them a little polish there. And I remember years and years ago when I was like 17, I joined the local militia band. So I was technically Private Wilson in the Canadian Army. And I played my trumpet in the band, and they paid you, and it was pretty cool. So there I did 3 days of basic training before I dropped out of basic training and got a better paying job for the summer. But in those 3 days, I did one of the first thing they teach you in the Army or the Air Force or even in the Air Cadets or Navy Cadets or wherever. The first thing you got to do is know how to polish up your boots. So I'm just doing the math on it. It's like, whoa, that was well over 30 years ago. So anyways, yeah, so I I know I polished these when I was 17, which is way over 30 years ago. So anyways, I think I might have polished them a few years ago too, but I just thought, yeah, you know what? It's what the heck? Let's give them a little polish. They were getting a little dusty upstairs, and they've been moved from place to place, and they got a few little scuffs on them and stuff. And I'm sure there's some scuffs there from Grandma getting on the back of Grandpa's motorcycle too. So yeah, so this is we got a couple little comments here. So I see DH Pilot 1 says they look a bit like his Special Service Force parade boots. Ranches here says USA military boots, not nearly so tall, but World War I clothes often copied horse riding clothes. All riding boots are tall. Yeah, even Amelia Earhart wore jodhpurs. And Corey, hi, welcome, and I'm doing well. So yeah, okay. So yeah, they're and then I was thinking about that too. During World War I, I did a little research because I was looking for other boots like this on the internet, and I couldn't really find any. I found a brown pair, and anyways, and so everyone always called this guy Captain Sparks, and he was kind of well known at the airport back when it first started up in the 20s. And so Captain Sparks, everyone just called him Captain Sparks. I have no idea what his first name was. And then I was thinking, why is he Captain Sparks? Because I thought now in the RAF, the Royal Air Force, they have like I think the equivalent is like wing commander. That sounds super cool, wing commander, right? And it's like, well, why would he be a captain? But then I was researching it a bit more, that the Royal Air Force didn't really start until after World War One. Before that, it was called the Royal Flying Corps, which was part of the Army, which is why Captain Sparks would be a captain, not a wing commander. So that's my thinking on that one. So I'm going to get to it here. We're going to polish up some boots here. And and DH Pilot 1 said that it was during World War II that they got to that. Okay, I could really see after doing just a little bit of research on these boots that I could see how people really get into being like real history buffs with history buffs. I did not want to say that. I did not want to say that, but it came out. And because it's pretty interesting, all that war stuff. If you're not in it. So, anyways, so all I'm gonna do is the way that I remember it back when I was in the army, well, barely. I got the old Kiwi shoe polish, and I'm sure this is gonna be very, very old news to DH Pilot One. But or even some of you army guys will be like, "You're doing it all wrong." And feel free to leave the comments in the description below, or make whatever comments you want. And we're just going to get to it now. This is I was also looking. I'm going to put a link in the description below here after this. There was this guy that he's in the Royal Canadian Air Force right now, and he did a really good video on how to polish your boots if they're brand new boots. Okay, so if they're brand new boots, they won't be as shiny like that. They'll be you got to stick a whole pile of wax on them. So or wax, shoe polish. Yeah, I was trying to think what this stuff is. I think it's some kind of wax. But anyways, what you got to do? Which one should I do first? Oh, yeah, that's another thing too. I'll show you that these things, they have little forms in them. That's why they can stand up. You can see the wood forms. I will take the right one apart. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like riding boots. So it's got this neat one. You can see that it's stamped right and left. You can see the R on there. R. And I've never actually taken these apart, really. I know this thing comes out. Let's see if we can do this right. Okay, we got that guy that comes out. Put that over there. Then you got these guys come out. Yeah, this guy here comes out. Okay. Now, no. If there is any smelly feet in there, that's like 80 years ago or something. Now, you're probably supposed to undo the shoelaces here, I'd imagine. Oh, yeah, I think you're going to have to. Well, I'm going to go for it. And one thing you will notice on these boots is that I'm going to show you up close here. Now, apparently, Captain Sparks, as my grandmother described him, was just a wee shaver. He wasn't very tall, and but his boots fit Grandma, but Grandma's feet were actually bigger than Captain Sparks's feet. So, she had to go to the shoemaker, and they kind of slit up here a little bit further and put in a couple extra eyes, or eyelets or whatever they're called, and so she could get her bigger ankle in there. So, I'll untie that, and we'll see if I can see what the toe looks like. Never did this before, so hopefully nothing really rips, or I'm not going to force anything too much on this. But there's kind of a small tear in both of these here, but it's probably fixable by somebody, but I'm not going to. I think it's one of those things, probably if it's this old, just keep it original and don't if it ain't too broke, don't fix it, I guess. So let's see if I can get that little wood thing out of there. Then we'll polish up the other one. So this is kind of self-indulgent for me that I'm going to take all these apart here. All right. What do we got here? Okay. How old are the forms? The forms, as far as I can tell, are original from World War I. So when did that end? 1918. So at least 105 years old. So there we go. And I think now Grandma and Grandpa started dating, I think it was the late 30s, early 40s, something like that. So it's like, these boots are probably just sitting around for a long time. Oh, here we go. And the guy said, get those little things out of here. Ooh, got parts falling out. Okay, look at that. There's the toe part. It just came out of there. It just came out like a foot. That's pretty cool. And then there's something else fell out. little piece of leather. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, yeah, so that's it. And then I was also wondering about, I never looked at it, but you can see in the sides here and there, it's on the other boot too. And yeah, there's, okay, here we go. Oh, that's neat. Oh, you gotta see. There's like these little straps so you can pull the boots on. Let's see if I can show you. Okay, so inside there's a little strap there, and that's attached to the, you can see the sewing there. And yeah, so it looks like you can put your finger in there on both sides, and you can just pull it right on. That's neat. I didn't know that. Oh, hey, check it. It says something else in here. And I don't know what size these are. What do we got here? It says Manfield and Sons, London, Paris, Liverpool, Manchester, Glasgow, Birmingham, Sheffield, Newcastle on Tyne, Leeds, Hull, Nottingham. Okay. Grand Prix, something boots. Paris, 1900. Oh, what is this? I don't know. I never looked inside there before. That's kind of cool. And there's some sort of writing that I can't make out. I want to say it's like M267, 64. Can't really tell. 1963. Yeah, I don't know. There's some other little writing inside there, but anyways, won't bore you too much with that. I'll do the inspection myself later. So basically, if you're, well, I'll move this one out of the way. So that was kind of fun. And okay, yeah, Corey, it is a pretty sweet piece of history, eh? It's okay. So now we got our kiwi shoe polish, just like that, and you're supposed to get some sort of a rag. Now I've seen other things. They say, "Oh, get your kiwi polishing rag and stuff," but back when I was being taught how to polish my boots, it was just like get a rag. This is was a part of a bed sheet. I got a part of a pillowcase over there. So, anyways, just stick it around your finger like that, and then you get move that out of the way. I got a little cup of water over here too. So let's see if I can show you here. So what you do is you just get a little bit of water on here, if I remember correctly. Bit of water. Now I'm going to put a little bit of water on. That's not that absorbent, is it? Okay. Just to kind of clean up the boot because it's a little dusty, I'll throw a little water on there. Make sure it's nice and clean. That doesn't, nothing will get scratched in there too much. You know, oh, that looks nice and shiny. Now, hopefully I do a good job on this, and I'm not going to do the whole boot because I think that would take a long time. And, oh, there we go. And DH Pilot says it used to spit on him. Yeah, I've heard you can spit shine them too. I don't know. That's a little, I don't know. I'm a civilian. I can get away with just using water. And, okay, we're going to put a little more water on there. We'll get it kind of soaked. It's not the most absorbent. That's weird. Okay, let's try that. All right. And then we're gonna get. I don't know how much you're like supposed to put on here, but you don't blob on too much. And I don't think there's any real super exact science to that, other than you got to make a lot of circles. So this is the thing. We're gonna do that, and we'll start at the toe, and you're just gonna put a whole bunch of little circles in there. They're just little circles, rub it in. A little bit of elbow grease is probably good because you want to get it to kind of all that polish to get into any little cracks and stuff. And we'll just do a little circle, circle, circle. Go a little faster here. I'm shaking my table. All right. And I'm just going to do the toe. Maybe. Then I've heard, like, I don't know, basically from everything I can remember, it's just like as long as you're doing like a little bit of water, a little bit of polish, a little bit of water, a little bit of polish, and then it should be okay. Like I said in the description below after this, there's going to be I'll put a link to a guy that's doing it the right way. And yeah, there we go. Tiny little circles. That's what that looks like. Okay, so now I don't know. I've heard you're supposed to breathe on it, but I'm not sure. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna let that kind of just sort of dry up. And now this isn't gonna be like super shiny, ready for inspection kind of stuff. But I will tell while that's drying, I'll tell you a little bit of oh, and according to DHC pilot, one, I am correct. Okay, good to know. And so I'm gonna let that kind of later on. I'll use this clean part of the rag just to kind of buff it up. We'll see how shiny it is compared to the other one. Okay, yeah. So like I said, I was in the Windsor Militia District Band, and so we would do like a couple little parades here and there. Did a few concerts at the Legion, stand around for Remembrance Day or Battle of Britain ceremonies, or you'd just be there to play some military music every once in a while for ceremonial things, and then you practiced. On Thursday nights, we used to go down to the Armories downtown here. Now the Armories building is part of the University of Windsor. It's their music building. Isn't that weird? That's where the band used to be too. But yeah, so I remember this one time just thinking about, oh yes, Mona Moore. What instrument did I play? I played the trumpet at the time. Haven't played it in years, and it was fun while I did it. But you kind of, I don't know. I'm more of a rock and roll guitarist now, barely. But yeah, so this one time we were, and like I said, we got our 3 day. I dropped out of my three after my 3 days of basic training, and but I mean they did teach you in those 3 days. I learned like okay about the different ranks, how to polish your boots, stand at attention, stand at ease, stand easy, like all this other stuff that you got to do to kind of march, and that helped out when I was marching with the band. And what foot to start off with when you're marching and things like that. So we were doing this. There was the big general from the area was coming down to inspect the troops, and so we were inside the armories building. It was pretty cool. And so in that building, there was the Windsor Militia District Band. There was the Essex and Kent Scottish and the Windsor Regiment. They're an armored division. And so everybody's all standing at attention and stuff. And then the band was just kind of, I think we were standing at ease or something. And then they said, okay, here comes the general. We're gonna play our little song. He's gonna do his thing, and then he's gonna go inspect the troops, right? So, and you can tell the general. They always said you can always tell the general because he's got the big arm, the big band on his arm. So that's a general. You got to make sure you salute him. So, anyways, we're playing, and and DH Pilot One was talking about the service battalion. I don't know. Were they actually at the armories there? Okay, maybe they might have been there too, but. So anyways, this was like 1987 that I was in the army band, and so we were playing our thing, or we're just about to play, and there was this like our best trumpet player was he was doing some other gig that day. It was like a Saturday. He was doing a matinee at some bar or something. He played in like a jazz band, and so he said he might not be able to make it, and then we're thinking, well, he's kind of our best trumpet player, but okay. So he eventually he just runs right in right after his gig. He doesn't have his dress uniform on or nothing, and it's 1987, and he was just playing this cool jazz band gig, and so he comes in dressed like Don Johnson right out of Miami Vice. I mean, he's got the white jacket, pink shirt, he's got the mesh shoes, he's got his floppy white pants for Miami, and he just comes running in and hops at the end, and we're playing, and it's like this guy just showed up with no uniform and the general's over here, and it's like, oh man. So okay, that stops, and then like the colonel that was in charge was kind of looking at him and whatever, he's conducting the band, and it's everything done. Okay, and then the guy standing at attention like Don Johnson, Miami Vice guy, and we're all wearing our green dress uniforms and shiny boots, and so yeah, shiny boots, and so it was the general's coming walking around, and like you're standing at attention, you're supposed to be having your eyes straight, but you're kind of looking out the corner of your eye like, oh, what's the general going to do with this guy, man? He's not even in uniform. And so you're kind of sitting there and everyone's like, you could tell everyone was really, what's going to happen here. So anyways, the general's coming, and then he's walking just right by this guy that's kind of in the back row, and I can kind of see out of my corner of my eye, and the general stops and looks at the guy, and he's standing at attention with his trumpet, and the general looks up and down him, and he looks to him in his face, and I can hear I can kind of see it out of my peripheral vision there, and I hear him, and he just says, "Nice shoes." And then he walks away. And then after that, everyone is trying to keep from laughing. So your attention, you're like, so anyways, that was pretty funny. That was a funny story about a different type of footwear. So anyways, okay, here we go. We got, here we go. All right. Well, we're going to give this a little bit of a polish here. And, okay. And Wrench is saying that in World War I, they used to dress pilots like cavalry. There you go. You got your little horse in the sky. So let's give this just a little buff, a little shine. We'll see if just one little bit of polish makes it any shinier than the other boot. We'll experiment. That looks pretty good. I don't know how much you're supposed to buff it. You can, you always see people going nuts on polishing shoes, but I'll just kind of give it a little buff like that. Let's do the comparison. How good is this shoe polishing job? Okay, that's the left one. This is the right original one. Okay, well, looks a little bit shinier. Yeah, this one here, yeah, maybe it's the light. Yeah, it's just slightly shinier here. And then I guess I could buff it. I could put more polish on there. And then according to the one in the description below after this, I'm going to put a link to this guy that has like super shiny boots, and they're Canadian Air Force boots, or just regular, I guess, work boots, you would say, for the office, parade boots. I don't know. What they would call them, but can you shave in it? It's not quite that good, DHC1 pilot. But yeah, that's what this guy said, that your boots should be shiny enough that you should be able to kind of see your reflection in it, and if you smile, you should be able to see your teeth. That's what this guy said. And or according to DH Pilot 1, you got to be able to shave in it. And that's yeah, and it takes hours to do that apparently, and I'm not going to take hours, but I'll probably give this just a quick polish to do. I don't know, good for another 5 years or another 50 years, who knows? But yeah, so that's that. And okay, so slightly polished up, better than the other one. Not too bad. That's how it's done. And yeah, that's about it for today. And what else can I tell you about our boots here? Yeah, I think I knocked off all the little stories I wanted to tell you about today. And what else could I tell you? Yeah, no, that's about it. So just remember, if you're joining the armed forces, you got to be able to shine your boots nicely. Don't go, another little tip that I got nabbed on because I went to my first day of basic training, and they gave me this nice new shirt, and I didn't iron it. So you still have the folds. You can always tell the bachelor because he gets a brand new shirt and doesn't iron it first, and he's got like the folds in it that are all nice and square. So yeah, the guy was asking me, "Whoa, nice shirt. Did you iron it?" And I'm like, and I'm thinking, are you supposed to? I got it brand new out of the box, or out of I just took the plastic off of it today, But he said, I know you didn't, whatever. I know you didn't iron that. I can still see the folds in it. You better have that iron next time, blah, blah, blah. And then they go on to, the cool thing, I don't know if that's specially taught in the Army or there's a course on saying cool stuff, or you just pick it up. Like if your collar's like not quite right, they'll call you like, "What's with that collar, Elvis? Fix it." What's another one? Oh yeah, there. Everybody says, you look like a bag. I don't know. And no matter what you do, you look like a bag. Oh, there's another one there too. They like if you have a beret and it's not folded over right, they're like, fold that over, Gumby, or something. I don't know. And yeah, and then you got to figure that stuff out. It's pretty cool that online now you can learn how to like polish shoes online or do anything with your uniform, because back then it was just like, I don't know, do what that guy says and you kind of figure it out on your own. So anyways, let's see what we got here in the comments, and then we're just going to kind of shut her down. What do we got here? DHC1, do you work for the railroad? Oh, okay. That's what would that be? Probably if you're all dirty or something, like, what, do you work for the railroad? Yeah, I could see that. And okay, yep. So anyways, that's well, maybe I'll scroll back here just a little. Yeah, and that's another thing too that I wanted to kind of tell people is that okay. Yeah. And then DHC1 pilot says lines in your shirt. Yeah, that's like what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I wonder if it's like the folds, if you're around the cuffs and stuff like that, you'd have to have that iron just right too. Yeah, I bet you they'd be picky about that. Yeah, so anyways, geez, I forgot. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so that's about it. We are going to shut her down. Today is Monday. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to be talking. No idea what I'll be talking about on Wednesday, but I will be here. Oh, lines in your shirt, railroad lines. Okay, I get it now. DHC1 pilot. Yep. And then Jim JLM says there's no point to pressed in the field. Polished boots, yes. Shine boots, no. Yeah, once you're out in the field doing stuff, then it's different than if you're just parading around the square trying to impress a general with your looking like Don Johnson shoes. So anyways, yeah, so I'll be back on Wednesday. Not sure what I'll be talking about, but yeah, we're just going to kind of shut her down here. And all right, so yeah, because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Oh yeah, another thing too, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Oh, that's what I was going to say about subscribing is that yeah, and the way that I'm talking in the chat, if you're watching on your phone or maybe a tablet or on like a smart TV, you won't see what you won't know what I'm talking about with the subscribing and the chat and stuff. So if you check it out on your computer, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's about it. Okay, we're going to shut her down. Thank you for watching. And that's it. Bye.